Factoring degree 2. So we know that factoring means to break something up into a simpler expression that will still give you the original answer. A second degree polynomial is when the highest exponent is to the second power. This is an example right here. We're gonna go ahead and go into example B. So this is a little bit more difficult, I would say, because now we have the 3 in our way. But the leading coefficient is 3, and that will evenly divide into all of the 3 terms. And that will give us x squared plus 3x minus 4. We're going to start off with example A. So we're going to have to find two numbers that multiply to give us the constant, which is -4. And those same two numbers need to be subtracted to give us 3. And those numbers will be -1 and 4. We now have to write down two linear factors, which are these. And we're going to have to write the x on them. So we're going to write down what we said was -1 and +4. And that's basically going to be our answer. So as I said earlier, this is basically like example A. So we already know that our answer for that is x minus 1 and x plus 4. But we will still have to enter the 3 in the front. So for example C, x squared plus 5x plus 6. So the factors of that will be +3 and +2. Why? Because if you add 3 plus 2, that will give you 5, which is this. And if you multiply 3 times 2, that will give you 6. And they both have to be positive because none of the numbers are negative. Okay, so to really make sure that that's going to be our answer, I'm going to do this little X thing, I would say, to make sure. And if you're wondering what these numbers are, well, let me explain. So right here, it will be A and C. That will bring us back to our formula over here. So we see that A, we don't have an A, so that will just be x squared, and C would be 6, and so that will give us 6x squared. Over here will be this right here, and over here it will be B, which is 5x. Over here it will be 2. Basically that's what it's trying to say. And we're gonna have to go counterclockwise to get our answer, basically. And because of that, we're gonna, if you multiply these two numbers, you know you're gonna get 6x squared. And if you add these two numbers, you know you're gonna get 5x. So that's why it's the answer. You just make sure that was gonna be the answer. I may sound a little confusing. So I also wanted to show you this method that I found online that I thought it was kind of weird but interesting at the same time. It's called the Berry method. And well, we're gonna start off with this problem. So going back to example B, as if you remember, we divided our leading coefficient to the whole polynomial, and then, well, in this problem we can't actually divide 2 into, like, find numbers that can get, like, can connect all of them. So here we're going to do the method. That's when the method comes in. So we're gonna multiply our leading coefficient with our constant. So -12 will now turn out into -24. So we're gonna pretend like that was our normal formula. We're going to pretend like that was our normal formula, but we're going to have to take note, and we're going to have to take note that it is wrong by 2. This is going to be a little confusing, but at the end you'll get it, and it's another way to solve polynomials that don't go into it like equally. Now that we said that we were going to pretend like this was a normal polynomial, then our factors would be -3, and +8. So that's when our trick comes in, and it's going to be a little confusing, but at the end it kind of makes sense if you pay attention. So that will be parentheses 2x minus 3, because this is our factor, and parentheses 2x plus 8, because that's the other factor. So because of that, now we have to undo the trick, and we wrote down that it was wrong by 2, so that's what we're going to be doing next. Because we can't divide this by the same number, we're gonna just ignore that for a moment, and we're gonna go to our next parentheses. So we know that we can divide both of these by 2. So if we divide both of these by 2, we will get x plus 4. So we're just going to bring down the parentheses x to minus 3. And then this will go outside, because remember in our example B, we can't just get rid of that number easily. So to get rid of our number 2, we will have to divide by 2, and that will just basically cancel it out. So this is going to basically be our answer, parentheses 2x minus 3, parentheses, x plus 4. And I could say that this is the answer already, but I'm just going to make sure that we didn't mess up through the process of this method. So if we multiply 2x times x, that will give us 2x squared. So if we multiply 2x times 4, that will give us a positive 8x, and if we multiply -3 times x, that will give us a -3x, and if we multiply -3 times 4, that will give us a -12. So if we simplify the answer, it will give us 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. So that's basically our answer, as you can see. So that's the Berry method.